Did Christmas come early this year? Because the Rams may have been gifted something very special by the NFL. We're going to talk about what potentially is going to be announced tonight when we're talking about the NFL schedule. We're also going to talk a little bit about why the Rams didn't take a quarterback in this year's draft class, all on today's episode of the Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Giron. Remember, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Press that subscribe button now, as roughly 73% of you guys are watching the videos, but you're still not subscribed to the channel. If you're already watching, might as well press that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing, so you don't miss any daily Rams content here at the Rams Digest. First things first, some pretty major news that is okay, it's not official, it's a rumor, but the Rams may be playing on a very special holiday. I would say the biggest holiday for football. We're talking about the Rams potentially doing something they haven't done in 50 years. Here it is right here. We'll talk about this in a second, what the details are, but obviously you guys can probably get what I'm hinting at. But the Rams could experience something for the first time in 50 years, potentially setting up a special moment for their fans in 2025. 50 years. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am not 50 years old. And actually, my parents were about 4 or 5 years old the last time this happened. And so myself, even some people in my family, have not seen this happen in their lifetime, or at least been remembering this happening in their lifetime. But the Rams last played on Thanksgiving Day in 1975 versus Detroit Lions. We'll talk about details on that in a second. But the Rams, rumored to be playing on Thanksgiving Day this year, 2025 Thanksgiving. They will be potentially matched up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this isn't officially announced yet. The schedule will be announced tonight. We'll put a video out tomorrow morning discussing the schedule and some obviously key matchups for the Rams. But a marquee matchup for the Rams of the Rams 2025 schedule was revealed on Wednesday morning. According to NFL Nerd, Los Angeles will host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the primetime slot of Thanksgiving night. So not even just knowing the Rams will play on Thanksgiving, which is obviously very exciting, but the Rams may get the primetime slot of Thanksgiving night, right? After you eat, because typically for some reason we eat Thanksgiving dinner at 3, 4 p.m., right? So you may be in the middle of your second, third plate, really wanting to sit down. Maybe you're eating your pumpkin pies, your apple pies, whatever you guys eat on Thanksgiving. I guess pecan pie. I don't want to leave any out there. But maybe you're sitting down eating your dessert and you're ready to sit and watch some football. And the Rams will be getting ready to face off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thanksgiving night. I think that's a dream scenario for me. Kind of just a relaxed end of the night, end of Thanksgiving night, preparing maybe for Black Friday deals, to sit and watch the Rams play football versus Tampa Bay. A pretty solid matchup, right? We see what Baker Mayfield has been doing in Tampa Bay, kind of settled down now as their franchise quarterback. So obviously, last year we saw kind of that battle for playoff positioning and seeding with the Rams and Tampa Bay and New Orleans or Atlanta and all these different teams, Green Bay, right? Washington. And so a Tampa Bay matchup is actually very important for the Rams to go out there and win, right? An NFC team that you're going to have to compete with when it comes down to playoff seeding and a playoff spot if the Rams don't win their division, right? So who knows? This could be a very, very important matchup for the Rams when it's all said and done. And so very exciting stuff to hear that this is potentially what's going to happen. Now, again, nothing official necessarily, but usually when we get these rumors, they're spread this wide so early, right before the actual official announcement is made. Typically, I think you can kind of trust that it's something that, a little bit of where there's smoke, there's fire type of situation. So this has not yet been confirmed by the NFL, but if it happens, it'll mark the first time since 1975 that the Rams have played on Thanksgiving. They defeated the Detroit Lions 20-0 in that game, clinching the NFC West Championship. They'll hope for similar success this time around, but the Buccaneers should be a tough opponent. So yeah, and that's kind of what we expect, right? A nice, good matchup, a good defensive team. They've added some pieces. They have their franchise quarterback. They're bringing back their receivers. They've added receiver talent as well. And so it should be a good matchup for the Rams on Thanksgiving night. Just exciting to see the Rams, right? And all my life, I've never been able to watch the Rams play on Thursday or Thanksgiving Thursday, right? Thursday night football. And so, or Thanksgiving Thursday. So, that's kind of sucks, right? I love watching football. Football is such a big part of my Thanksgiving dinner time, right? I just love sitting there watching, eating, watching the game. No matter who's playing, I enjoy watching the game. But to watch the Rams battle it out against Tampa on Thanksgiving night, it'd be incredible. Very exciting stuff to see happen. I'm hoping that this isn't just a random rumor that came up, misinformation being spread. We're hoping that this is true, and we'll actually get the announcement very soon here. If you guys are watching this video, you're probably watching on Wednesday about 3 p.m. or so, 4 p.m. or so, which is right before they announce the official schedule, which again we'll talk about on tomorrow's episode. But let me know how you guys feel. Are you guys super excited to see the Rams play on Thanksgiving? Do you enjoy it? Do you kind of maybe enjoy them not stressing you out on Thanksgiving, right? If they're not having a game, do you prefer that? So that way you can just kind of enjoy, watch football without being stressed about your team winning. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comment section down below. Moving on from that, kind of interesting note that we've been discussing, right, the last couple of weeks. No quarterback replacement, right? We knew that was kind of the case. We knew the Rams weren't going to end up drafting a quarterback, it seemed like. Or not before the draft. I thought the Rams maybe get away with one quarterback, even if it was like a Kyle McCord late in the draft, maybe a Will Howard later in the draft. But ultimately, once we found out the Rams weren't drafting a quarterback, it was kind of a question mark. Why didn't the Rams go get a quarterback in this year's draft? Well, we do have a little bit more of an answer now about that. We'll pull up the quote in a second. Insider expands why Rams didn't grab possible Matthew Stafford replacement during the 2025 draft. And so ultimately, yeah, it's a very intriguing point. They have Jimmy Garoppolo, they have Stetson Bennett. The quarterback room is great for next year. It's solid for next season. We're fine there. But moving forward, Stafford's 37, going to be 38. Obviously, that's definitely something you want to look at and say, hey, we'd rather a quarterback get some time to develop rather than drafting a guy. Say, especially if you're going like third round quarterback, right? You want the guy to sit behind a established Hall of Fame quarterback in Stafford, learn behind him, see him compete in big time moments, big time games, practice with some of the guys that could be his teammates over the course of a full season, and then let Matthew Stafford decide. Does he retire? Does he play another year? That's fine there. You have that quarterback ready to go another year of learning and kind of getting better, right? And grooming that quarterback to be the type of player Sean McVay kind of and the rest of this coaching staff wants him to be. Okay, you don't go that route, but why? Why didn't the Rams go that route? And here we're hearing from ESPN's Dan Graziano. He says, teams didn't think very highly of this year's crop of draft quarterbacks. Forcing a pick on a quarterback of the future whom you don't feel great about isn't the best path for a defending division champion that sees itself as a Super Bowl contender. And I think that is a very important key, right? Even when we're talking about just throw a 5th round pick, go get a Will Howard, go get a Kyle McCord, right? Just use one of those picks on a quarterback of the future. We kind of talk about these later draft picks as if they're kind of just throwaways. Well, the Rams drafted Chris Paul Jr. with one of their 5th round picks this year, right? And so that's a guy they think is going to be a key component of their defensive grouping this year, right? He may be a starting linebacker for you that you found in the 5th round. That's a dream. That's the hope. Hopefully that happens. But if the Rams wasted a draft pick on a quarterback, well, there's certain pieces that they got, right? Jarquez Hunter, who may potentially get some time in his rookie year as well, right? There's players out there the Rams snagged that could help them win right now and that they are kind of hoping can help win right now, right? Versus taking a quarterback who you know is likely, even if Stafford goes down with an injury, you have Jimmy Garoppolo stepping in. So you know this quarterback you draft is likely not even going to play in their first season. The Rams see themselves as Super Bowl contenders. They want to win. They didn't like the quarterbacks as well, probably, obviously. And so therefore, why waste a pick on a quarterback that we don't even like? I did want to see them get Shedeur Sanders because I believe in Shedeur and what he could be as a quarterback, but obviously that is still up in the air, and clearly if the Rams don't believe that, then why would they draft him, right? So we'll have to wait and see. A lot of names, obviously, the Rams could have drafted. We're looking at the Dylan Gabriels, the Shedeur Sanders situation in Cleveland. You're looking at quarterbacks like Will Howard in Pittsburgh, Kyle McCord. You're going to look at all these names, Jackson Darts of the world with the Giants, right? We're going to look at all these names in a couple years. Maybe someone will say, hey, the Rams should have took one of these guys. But we'll have to wait and see on that. In the meantime, next year, the Rams got 2 first-round picks at the moment. We'll wait and see what ends up becoming of those picks. Trivia of the day, my favorite part of the episode, where I ask a trivia question and you give your guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we give you a shout out on the next episode. The last episode's trivia of the day was this question here. Which Rams DE coined the term sack? That was trivia of the day number 61. We did have a couple of multiple choice options as I'm pulling up the wrong screenshots. One of the multiple choice options was it A, Aaron Donald? Was it B, Deacon Jones? Was it C, Rosie Greer? Or was it D, Jack Youngblood? The correct answer for this trivia of the day was provided to us by a couple people who played along and get their little shout out right here. So for those who played along and want your shout out, here it goes. Appreciate these names here. The Real J Will says the answer is Deacon Jones, and if anybody gets this wrong, they need to turn in their Rams fan card. I never go that far, the Real J Will, because it's a part of Rams history that people can appreciate, but not everybody obviously was around during that time. So of course you can watch documentaries and research and do all this stuff history-wise of knowing this. But hey, some people may have missed this part of their Rams history, okay? The term sack was coined by the great Deacon Jones. Comes to us from Juan. Floyd says Deacon Jones, best DE of all time, coined that phrase. Glider says Deacon Jones. Jason says Deacon Jones. And not just Rams trivia, by the way. I feel like this is kind of like great NFL trivia, right? That everyone should kind of know. Brian B says Deacon Jones. I believe I heard this before. Alex Sosa says Deacon Jones. Mike Romero says Deacon Jones. Thomas says Rosie Greer. And Crowherd says, I think the first thought would be to say Deacon Jones, which you would have been correct, by the way, Crowherd. But that seems a bit too obvious. And as far as Youngblood, I think the term was around even before him. So I'm going to go for the less obvious and say Rosie Greer as a contemporary of Jones, as well as one of the lesser known members of the Fearsome Foursome. So great drop of trivia knowledge, Crowherd. I did want to make sure I acknowledge your whole paragraph there. And, I'll say you said Deacon Jones. I'll give you a little bit of credit for that, maybe a half point, because you did put two guesses in your comment. But overall, appreciate all of you guys for guessing along. Again, it's okay if you got it wrong. No judgment here from me, at least. Maybe some other people in the comments may be feeling differently. But the correct answer was Deacon Jones. I appreciate all of you guys for playing along. Gave you the shout outs here. Make sure you guys get some screen time. If you want a shout out just like this on the next trivia of the day or the next Rams Digest episode, play along with today's trivia of the day coming up in just a second. Today's trivia of the day is this question here, as I don't have the question up. Which Rams player owns the team record for most consecutive games played? This is trivia of the day number 62. So which Rams player owns the team record for most consecutive games played? Is it A, Orlando Pace? Is it B, the great Deacon Jones? Is it C, Jack Youngblood? Or is it D, Isaac Bruce? Again, which Rams player owns a team record for most consecutive games played? Orlando Pace, Deacon Jones, Jack Youngblood, or Isaac Bruce? Let me know your guys' guesses down below in the comment section. I guess extra credit if you can say how many games this player played. Let me know your guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we'll give you a shout out on the next episode. Other than that, that's going to do it for me on today's episode of the Rams Digest. Schedule release tonight. Hopefully you guys can check it out and let me go over it. Let me know some key matchups you guys are interested in seeing, and we'll talk about it on tomorrow's episode. That's going to do it for me on today's episode. I'm your host, Joshua Giron, and I'm out.